What is good, YouTube? It's your boy King Rob, and I am here with another reaction. Today we are reacting to characters no one likes. Hey, but yo, before we get into this reaction, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Get your boy to the 500 subs, and let's get into this reaction.
A crucial component of every TV show or movie is having a character people hate. Most times it's gonna be something like the villain. Other times it could just be a character that people don't like. So today I want to run through the characters that aren't just villains or some people hate. I'm talking about if you like any of these characters, then you're probably a very toxic person. I hope you don't get into a relationship, because I know that gonna get abusive. And let's start up this hate train by introducing St. Jude's #1 spokesperson, Caillou. I seriously don't think there is any
Bruh, Caillou. Oh. If I ever had to babysit that little boy, I would have a straight up conniption. Like, bruh, how are you? And I get he's a child, but to be to the level of annoyance at that age, bruh, I would have never babysitted again. I would have never babysitted again. I don't care how much money you gotta offer me. $100K just to babysit that little boy, cause ain't no way.
More hate I can put on Caillou than people have already said. Like, if you actively watched Caillou as a kid, I know you were a bad kid. Your card was probably on red all the time in elementary school. You got a solid 50 phone calls home a year, and you was failing basic shit like Common Core English and math. Now we all know the reason why no one likes Caillou is because it's classic tantrums. If I tried to pull off the shit Caillou got away with as a kid, my parents would have sent me back to Ethiopia to get whipped by sticks and show how shit goes down there, because they would not play that. I'm literally going to describe one episode to y'all for an example of Caillou's insane ego. The episode I'm going to be describing is called Caillou Makes Cookies. We start off with Caillou pounding a toy drum at the loudest decibels Earth has ever heard.
Please.
Then his mom comes in to tell him to be quiet because his baby sister's about to sleep. And can you guess what Caillou does? And now we get to the main plot of the story. Caillou manages to find his mom's cooking book and decides he wants to make cookies. Even though canonically he's 4 years old. Like, little nigga, you're the size of LeBron's foot. And how can a 4-year-old even interpret how to read a cookbook? Maybe I was just a stupid ass kid or something. Anyways, when he goes to reach for the ingredients to make the cookies, everything ends up falling out the drawer and tumbling all over the kitchen floor, including a full jar of honey. Like, do y'all know how long a jar of honey would take to clean off your floor? That's a solid 3 weeks of sticky floors, no pun intended. And Caillou, using the super big smart fat cranium on his head, decides the best option is to start making makeshift cookies with the ingredients spilled out on the floor. Oh lord, I could only imagine what would have happened to me if I did this as a kid. And really, I blame his parents as much as I do him, because right after this, his mom starts happily cleaning the floor with him, going like, classic Caillou. Always getting into clumsy shenanigans. If you don't pull out the belt! And you wanna know the whole kick about this episode? This is episode 1 of the series. It's the introduction to kids around the world to Caillou. So we just started off being annoying. It wasn't like a gradual decline throughout each season. It's to the point where there's whole compilations on YouTube of just his tantrums. And I'm usually not the one to be on that whole super insane masculine shit that be going on online. But dude, someone needs to say it. There is absolutely no testosterone running through Caillou's dad's veins. Nigga looks like an alternate reality David Dobrik. So no wonder his son acts like this. He doesn't look like he could give any type of discipline at all. The more I look at Caillou, the more I realize he's just a less aggressive version of No David. The next person on the hate train is Mineta from My Hero Academia. Mineta has to be the most down bad character to ever exist in fiction. Like, I completely understand why you never really see Mineta after season 1 and 2 of My Hero. Bro was depressingly horny to the point it caused a hindrance in the school. Like, the guys in class 1A could be talking about some villain they have to beat up to save the city, and Mineta would come in like, yeah, I mean, that sounds great and all, but why don't we instead sneak into the girls' locker room while they're not looking?
Nigga, what?
This man could give Glenn Quagmire, Mordecai, Johnny Bravo, and Sanji a run for their money. And Mineta does not have the facilities to be as down bad as he is. Like, first off, this nigga is 3 foot 6 inches, which is about 1.5 foot shorter than the legal size of being a midget. And he has the worst quirk out of everybody in class 1A, maybe the entire My Hero world. Like, the power the My Hero gods bestowed upon him was really throwing sticky balls. If you weren't scaring the hoes with your creepy actions already, your quirk would have anyways. The one episode I'll never forget him being creepy in the most was when they were checking everyone's dorms in the class. First, the girls went to the boys' dorms to see how they looked. And coincidentally, the one dorm they did not go into was Mineta because, well...
This is turning out to be really fun. The last person on this floor is...
Hey, come on in, girls. I've got so much to show you.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
Yeah,
really
no.
Then when the boys go to check the girls' dorms, he starts drooling out the mouth and just thinking about it. And while he goes in their rooms, he starts to sniff their drawers. This is some shit that extreme porn-brained individuals on Twitter would act like. This is the type of down bad jokes you hear in comment sections online, but Mineta really be acting it out. And it's funny to know that everyone be getting some except Mineta. The next character on the hate train we got is Pearl from SpongeBob. Even without saying anything about Pearl's character, her look just pisses me off. How in the world is she even putting on her outfit with a Brobdingnagian head like that? It's a miracle Pearl can even walk straight without falling side over every day. Her character is annoying for so many reasons, like how spoiled she is. For how cheap Mr. Krabs is, it's sure funny how much he spoils Pearl. Every time Pearl runs crying to Mr. Krabs, he's there to hand her all the money she wants. Yet he been doing my nigga SpongeBob dirty for years. Never forget in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie when he gave Squidward the manager job instead of SpongeBob. Even though there was an 80% chance every day that Squidward wouldn't make it back to work the next day, he was on the brink of ending it. And not to mention, Pearl was low-key rude to my guy SpongeBob. Like, SpongeBob a lot of the time was taking care of her because Mr. Krabs was too obsessed with running the Krusty Krab. Yet she still has the audacity to get mad at him. What Pearl needs to be worried about is finding her real father, because we all know it ain't Mr. Krabs. Like, seriously.
If a show ain't, bruh, like, I want to know what were they thinking when they decided to use a whale to be Mr. Krabs' daughter? Like what brought that? They got SpongeBob with normal parents. They got Patrick with normal parents. But yet, Mr. Krabs got a whale for their daughter. Make it make sense. Like, why?
Seriously, it's been 24 years and we still don't even know who Pearl's mother is. Either she's adopted or Mr. Krabs gotta go check in with the Maury show to get a DNA test. And her fat ass also needs to get in the gym. Every time Pearl walks in frame, she shakes the entire vicinity of the room. Got it feeling like the rumbling is coming. All I know is if I meet any woman that ever acts like Pearl, I wouldn't be able to be in the same room as them for more than 5 minutes. The next character we got is Vicky from the Fairly Odd Parents. Bro, when I say I would be fuming every time Vicky would terrorize Timmy, like she wouldn't let my dog live for a second. Vicky is not only evil, but she was literally born an evil. Even her own parents cower in fear when she's near them. And you know for a fact Timmy's parents know this, but there's no world where we rely on Timmy's parents.
Not gonna lie, Timmy's parents were more annoying than Vicky. Like, it's no, like, I was one, like, Mom and Dad and Vicky always giving him demands. I always wonder, like, what kind of parents, like, I don't know how to describe it, but they were more annoying than Vicky. Vicky, I can understand. She's evil. them two were just straight up morons. They were literally morons. The fact that every time Timmy told his parents about Vicky, they completely ignored it and just took it as Timmy just being Timmy. If my child told me that their babysitter was doing this, and this, I'm taking my child's side because, first of all, I don't know you. I trust my child. I'm not, like, I get it, but, like, for real, unless I know you, I'm not finna take, unless I know you, I might take it with a grain of salt, but I'm trusting my child at the end of the day. These two were complete morons. And I understand why he got the Fairly Odd Parents. Because, good God. Like, I think there was an episode where they forgot about Timmy. It was stupid. Like,
They abandon him with Vicky every time. How did they even take care of Timmy as a baby? Because every time I see Mr. and Mrs. Turner, they're telling Timmy they're leaving to a trip to the Bahamas or some shit and Vicky's gonna be babysitting. But man, I would be mad too if I was Vicky and was born looking like this. With that nasty ass mohawk ponytail. She legit has no neck. And that dusty crop top she wears every episode. But somehow Vicky be babysitting the entire town's kids. I think the parents of Dimsdale shouldn't be parents. Because how did not one of y'all notice this evil actions? This is the list for reference of all of Vicky's enemies in the show. Vicky is so evil that somehow Jimmy Neutron is on the enemies list. Like, they're not even in the same world. He was in a special between the two shows once, and she managed to make him an enemy. But you know Vicky's evil when she's out here cosplaying World War II leaders. Nickelodeon, you weren't slick with this whole scene, okay? I'll never forget this. All I'ma say is if you replace these two flags with something else, it would look like a certain World War II leader leading his full army of bad people. The last character we got is Danzo from Naruto. Now, I don't know how long it's been since some of y'all have watched Naruto, and if you haven't, you better skip this shit because you about to get spoiled to death. Me personally, I think Danzo was actually just racist. Him and Tobirama's hate for the Uchiha clan was reaching astute levels every day. Like, he's the whole reason why Itachi murdered his clan and joined the Akatsuki in the first place. Which basically started the plot of Naruto behind the scenes. No evil Itachi equals no emo depressed kid Sasuke equals no issues for Naruto. Naruto would be out here working the 8 to 4 p.m. shift if none of that happened. And his whole reasoning for making Itachi do what he did was because he was scared that the Uchihas would start another war. Not gonna lie, it sounded like some real civil rights issues right here. You replace the clans with races, and that's basically the 50s and before. And I know the Uchiha clan was planning to riot back, but that only happened in the first place because they were isolated from the Leaf Village. But Danzo, you know, could you try something like a simple talk with tea and biscuits with the people instead of sending a 13-year-old to kill his entire own clan?
Oh, wait. Ooh. Itachi was 13? I could have sworn he was a little bit old, probably like 16. I could have sworn. I didn't know he was 13. I thought he was 16 when he massacred the clan. I didn't know he was 13.
And including his mom and dad first. Even looking at this man just gives me racist vibes. I walked down the wrong alleyway at night with this man there, and I already know I'm getting hate crimes. He also decided to yank Shisui's eyes because he didn't trust him, which is just beyond levels of up. You could have banished him out the village, interrogate his family, shit, even getting jumped would be better. To be fair, Shisui did end up offing himself and jumping off that cliff, which is still confusing to me on why he even did that. And bro, don't let me get started on this man's crusty, filthy, and purely putrefying arm. I remember when this man pulled it out for the first time in the anime, and I was like, get that shit out of here! It would have been cooler if he had them in a gold case with a busted out VVS diamond shining from them, but he really put living eyes in his arm and used it as a way to fight. This man was so power hungry, he was willing to do anything. Danzo's a pure example of envy and how far it can take some people. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. I truly think there is no people that like any of these characters. And if you do, then you probably need some type of help. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
Oh, man. Yeah, Danzo, bruh. Yeah, man, Danzo was just... There's some words I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. But yo, another W video. Hope you guys like my reaction. 500 subs. And I'll see y'all guys next time. Stay blessed and be great.